Good afternoon, family. Now, this is a thing I did not double check that to make sure that was in the right spot. And that camera is obviously not the way I want it set up, but we will make it work for today. So good afternoon, family. Thanks for checking out today's broadcast. If you're new here, my name is Jonathan, and I created this channel as a way to record my progress as I work towards my goal of losing 300 pounds in 3 years. If you would like to join the family, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also, click on the bell icon so you'll get alerted when I go live or post new videos. If you'd like to participate in on the discussion, you can join me during my live streams, which I do most weekdays, or outside of my live streams. You can consider joining the Discord I've created. There is a link for that down in the description below. Also, if you're interested in getting an idea of the meals or the food that we enjoy, we created a link to a Pinterest board that has some of our family's favorite whole food plant-based meals. If anybody has any non-scale victories they'd like to share, I'd love to hear your guys' non-scale victories. If you are on a diet and you're doing well, I'd love to hear how you're doing on your diet. If you are falling off your diet or trying to find a new diet or how to get back on track, let me know what you're doing to get back on track. What hurdles are keeping you from getting started on your diet, and what are you going to do to make getting on your diet or staying on your diet easier than the alternative? I'm going to switch over to the main screen here. I'm very curious how the video looks for you guys, and if my audio and my voice are syncing up, because it does not look like they are to me, but that does not mean that that is necessarily the case. Let me switch over to the camera angle. I did take time to pay attention to and make sure that it was in the right spot, and see how you guys are doing. Stand and Hope says it looks great. I'm glad it looks good. I am in my new office, so it took a little bit of work to get everything together. If you're paying attention, the backdrop's the same. The angle of the backdrop's a little bit different. Everything for me in my new office is completely flipped from the old office. I used to have the camera more to my left over here. Now it's over here. And then also my screens have shifted because of that as well. So I do have to kind of adjust or figure out what's going to work best for me with the camera and the angles and everything. But everybody says so far it looks good and it's perfect. Thank you guys for checking out today's broadcast. I hope that everybody had a great weekend. It was a long weekend for us here in the States, with Monday being Memorial Day. So it does give a lot of gives you a lot of opportunities to cheat on your diet or to fall off your diet or be tempted by things. For me, the biggest thing is that I'm at home more hours when we have a long weekend, and I really just like to eat. I did a really good job this weekend of staying on diet. There was nothing that I ate that was outside of our whole food, plant-based, salt, oil, sugar-free diet. There is one, I like the mustard might have a little bit of sodium in it, but we don't add any salt. I did take some photos of the food that I ate this weekend, although I did not go through and vet the photos or pay too much attention to what photos are going to be from what. But I will try to navigate through my phone's photo album and share these with you guys. So let's see. I did not broadcast on Thursday, which makes me feel like I did not post these photos, which I did not post. I should post these on Instagram, I guess, so you guys can actually see them. But let me pull up the photo album here. So I do have quite a few food pics from the weekend, but that would help if I actually turned my phone on to do this. So let's do this here. So Friday night, Carrie put together, after popular demand from everybody on here, all of my viewers said that we should try the plant-based Gabriel's 3-2-1 burger. So Carrie made these on Thursday evening. So let me see, that should pop up now. This is a plant-based Gabriel's 3-2-1 burger. I have it on a piece of lettuce with some onions, and then we put this mango salsa that Carrie made on top of it. I believe I even put a little bit of the California balsamics, smoky smoked barbecue flavored balsamic on there as well. I really like these. I could have eaten 30 of these, I feel like, on Thursday night. It was really good. It's hard to kind of figure out how to eat them. So I did take a photo. I was eating it kind of this way, or I had sandwiched some of the lettuce over the top to protect my fingers. Carrie's checking in saying hello. I hope everything's going great today, Carrie. Let's see. Hopefully the connection stays with my phone. I got a new setup, so everything's new. My Wi-Fi is new. All of this is different, so hopefully I don't run into any technical difficulties. Stan and Hope says it looks so good. It was so good. Yes, this was amazing. I did take some action shots here just to show how I was eating it. This might even be the second one that I ate here, I think, that I took some photos of as well. And then I did take a photo here. It wasn't this photo. One of these photos. I just went on a crazy photo shoot with this meal, I guess. This photo here. So let me see. There is a delay on here, but I believe it should be showing up soon. It's really weird here, how big of a delay there is. But I took this last photo here because it really showed how much lettuce I was eating. I never would have eaten anywhere near this amount of lettuce on anything before I ever had in my life. And there was a couple bites here where it was just all lettuce, and it was really good. Like, I'm really happy that I've gotten myself adapted and to be able to eat this type of to eat lettuce like that, because I would have avoided it like at the plague. I would have asked for any burgers without lettuce, and if they would have put lettuce on there, I would have removed it. Dan and Hope says that your husband had regular burgers yesterday. You'll have to suggest these to him for the next time. They are really good. Again, it's a weird thing though, because I don't really care if they actually tasted like burger, or if I was eating that and I couldn't tell the difference between that and a burger. I don't believe that. I think you would know that you're not eating a hamburger, but it still tastes really good, and the textures were good, and overall flavor was excellent. Pretty Girl's mom says, so glad that we tried them and that we liked them. Yeah, they were awesome. I liked them a lot, and we will definitely be having them again. Carrie made a different type of plant-based burger later in the week, and they were not as good as this was. I think that the next photo I have is from Friday morning. Yeah, this is Friday morning's oatmeal. Just our regular oatmeal with spinach, onions, mushrooms, a little bit of Kirkland's no salt seasoning, and a little bit of lemon juice in there as well. I'm going to pull down this so that I can find the next photo of food that I took. Let's see here. So I did a bunch of moving my office on Friday. So I have a bunch of photos from the computer setup and moving my things over. Let's see. Jane says in the air fryer, they get a nice crust. I'm not sure if Carrie cooked them in the air fryer or not, because we were talking about, I think that the recipe or wherever she was getting the recipe from had suggested that you actually grill them on the grill. And we almost did that, but I was kind of late before she brought that up. And if I had been planning on getting the grill going, then I would have done that. So I can imagine in the air fryer, it would have firmed them a bit. Oh, Carrie said that she did cook them in the air fryer. So that answers that question. But I liked them. I wasn't concerned about whether or not I was believing that I was eating a hamburger. I've given that. I really don't give much thought to trying to mimic foods that I used to eat. For me, it's very much about just finding the new foods that I'm going to eat. And those are mostly beans and rice, and there might even been walnut in them. I'm not sure. There's all kinds of stuff in those but they were really good. Then on Friday, Carrie made a meal that's become one of my new favorite meals that we have, and this is polenta. This is just awesome overall, top to bottom, great meal. It says Carrie says that I'm cutting out a lot on her end. If anybody else is having that issue, please let me know if that is the case, if you're having any audio issues. The food was really good though. This is the second time that Carrie has made this. Stan and Hope says that the cutting out is gone for her, so it must have been there and going out. So hopefully it's not too messed up, or I'm able to get everything ironed out here. So, but yeah, if there is any issues, whether you're watching this live or you're watching this on the replay, if there's audio issues or video issues, please comment so that I know that there's issues that I can work on fixing, because there's a lot of things that you have to set up to get everything going. And it's very easy for one setting to get changed or for something else to get screwed up. How did Carrie make the polenta? That is definitely a Carrie question, because I show up at home and it is made. But I know that she used some nutritional yeast in there, and that's about the only thing I can say for sure. And so I think that she probably has a recipe for this. And so if she has that shared on the Pinterest board or through the Discord, everybody's saying that the audio cutting out is gone now. So hopefully that stays that way for you guys here. But I really like this. This is a great meal. If I don't lose any weight, it's because I had the plant-based gray burritos on Thursday night. I had this Friday night. Awesome food. Really great stuff here. Carrie says that she uses the gluten-free corn grits to make them on the stovetop, is how she made the polenta. And so that is how she made that. Let me hide this, find another photo of food. So on Saturday, we got real simple with actually, I tried to fancy up the food a little bit, and it really didn't make a difference. But this is just a simple tortilla that Carrie made with some corn flour that we had around the house. And then there is some brown rice on top of that. And then on top of that, there is some refried beans. And then I took a little bit of the teriyaki flavored California balsamic vinaigrette that we had, kind of put that on top of it as well. So that was Saturday night. I had kind of a snack bar of these, trying them in different combinations. So this is two more of them here. Let's see. I think that it's just beans, rice, and then that sauce. And then I did take some of the mango that Carrie had made, the mango salsa, and I used that with the Carrie says the meals kind of went downhill this weekend after the polenta. Yeah, we got real busy with things. I'm gonna try to see. There we go. So my phone system here doesn't really like how I'm doing this because I am like 50 feet away from the router, whereas at my last office I was 8 feet away from the router, so my phone and computer could talk to each other a little bit better. So this is just more of the brown rice with some refried beans. I tried mixing a little bit of it with the mango salsa just to, like I said, fancy it up a little bit. Didn't really need it, didn't add anything to it. And then those are just the more tortillas with the beans on there. And then I put a little bit of rice on those with some more of the teriyaki seasoning sauce on top of that. And one of them I did try to put some mango on, but nothing fancy, just beans, rice, and then the mango salsa. I guess it'd be a little bit fancy, but nothing too crazy on. This was Sunday that we had all of this. So, this is Sunday for lunch that I had this. So this was Friday night's dinner, and then Sunday for lunch we had this, and then Sunday's dinner we had ourselves a couple different things. We had some of these brown rice noodles with some homemade salsa or marinara sauce, that Carrie makes, that I really enjoy this. And then we also had salad on Sunday night. And if you guys cannot tell here, this is a very large mixing bowl that was filled with salad. Then Carrie took half of the salad out and put it in her large bowl. And then this was my bowl of it here. Lots of great food in here. Carrots, celery, red peppers. You got cucumbers, spinach, peas, kale in the salad this weekend. And then I don't know what the little seeds are. I can't think of the name. Is it quinoa maybe? But this was our salad on Sunday. I really love these salads. I feel like Stand and Hope says impressive salad. Yes, it was a very large salad. That it is quinoa that's in there. So, but yeah, lots of great whole food ingredients in these salads. Mixed it, some sweet dressing with some mustard dressing that's kind of sweetened up is the salsa or the dressing that we use. And I really love it. I always lament or always kind of think of salads as being not very exciting or not anything worth eating. And with our diet now, the salads are definitely one of the more exciting parts of the salad for me. Let me see. I think I got this photo here of a bunch of strawberries that we had. I wasn't never really much of a strawberry person. I just never ate a lot of strawberries. I guess just not having them around. Carrie would always buy them and eat them, and the kids have always liked fresh strawberries. But I never really got into eating them. I probably had, almost a dozen of these strawberries that are in this photo I ate. So I was munching on those on Sunday into Monday. And it was nice to have fresh strawberries around. Carrie also picked up a fresh watermelon. Tried it. I am still not a big fan of watermelon. I don't know. Just not a fruit that I really get into eating or that I care about eating too much. So but we did have that this weekend, and I did not take a photo of the watermelon that we had. So I think I got a couple photos to skip through here. And then yesterday evening, Carrie made another burger. This was not the plant-based Gabriel's 3-2-1 burger. This is just something that she found a recipe for. And they were not bad, but they do not, this is not it's just got a huge delay, I guess, that it's not picking up that I changed to the new photo. So let me see if I do something there, because let me see what pops up on screen, or when it finally does pop up on screen. It's not being very happy with me. So let me disconnect and reconnect it. See, these are all the things I have to figure out with this new setup. I'll have to figure out how to maybe get these photos just downloaded onto the computer instead of doing it this way. So let me try one more time. There we go. There is the plant-based burgers that we had yesterday evening. Carrie said that she had a bunch of red beans to use up, so she hunted for a recipe using them, and that is where these burgers came from, is because she had a bunch of red beans to use up. And they're not bad. Definitely made a difference when I put some of this barbecue sauce. So Carrie made this barbecue sauce out of the California balsamic vinaigrette, the barbecue, the smoky flavored one that we purchased. She made up some barbecue sauce. It was awesome, amazing. One of the best barbecue sauces that we've had since starting this diet. So I put them on top of my burgers, and I didn't really feel like eating any bread. So I just kind of ate them like this. I'm trying to think of, I might have put one on a lettuce wrap, but I didn't take a photo of it when I did that. And then the last photo of food that we have today is breakfast this morning. It's so funny with this oatmeal, and this is not a very good photo. So we'll zoom in to get rid of the dirty sides there so you guys can see all of the wonderful spinach and onions and mushrooms that are in there. So I was giving Carrie a hard time about the Instapot not cooking these, and then the Instapot did screw up and not cook them, so she had to move them over to the stovetop and finish them on the stovetop. And they were really great this morning. I don't know if it was because of the way she cooked them or if there was anything in particular that made them taste better than it normally does, but I really did enjoy the food this morning. So, Carrie said that she had those burgers, the last ones, in a lettuce wrap, and they were pretty good. We also, and I did not take a photo of this, had a bunch of corn on the cob. Yes, I had 2 or 3 ears of corn on the cob yesterday with dinner as well. And then this was oatmeal this morning, which was amazing. So there was a lot of food photos there. If you guys are interested in knowing what I ate this past weekend, I definitely did a good job showing most of the food I ate. I did not take a photo of the corn on the cob, and then there's a few other things. I did bust out the Ezekiel bread and the nut butter. So I did have a little bit of that this weekend as well, but did not eat near as much as I have been in the past. And I just felt like for the last week and a half that my digestion just hasn't been working the way it had been previously. And it might be the junk that I ate last Saturday, Sunday, whatever day that was. And it wasn't until Sunday night, or really mostly yesterday, that I felt like my digestive kind of engine was back running at top level and kind of was getting back to normal. I really felt like I was eating more food than I was eliminating, and the last 2 days have helped kind of clear that up. Stand in Hope says, corn on the cob, yum. You did that as well. Your Instapot broke out of nowhere. That sucks. And you have not brought yourself to buy a new one. Yes, it is definitely one of the key pieces to our kitchen is the Instapot. That Instapot gets used at minimum once a day. Sometimes I think it probably gets used 5 or 6 times a day, depending on what we are are going to have going on or what we're going to be doing. So I do recommend that if you want to save some time, having an Instapot will make a big difference. We do our beans in the Instapot because that goes quicker, and just a lot of this food takes time to prepare, and that Instapot helps kind of reduce that preparation time. So if you can get a new one or get that one, I don't know that they fix them, but let's see. Pretty Girl's mom says off again. I'm not sure what off again means. If that means you're leaving, I'm not sure, but let's see. Carrie says, we learned last summer though, that an amazing way to cook. Yes, this is something I've lived in Iowa my whole life and I've never done this, but an amazing way to cook corn on the cob is to just throw it in the microwave unshucked for about 6 minutes. And it is fully cooked, ready to go. Not anything that I had ever done or seen done before. And then last year somebody suggested it. And I think that is about the only way that we have cooked corn since we learned about doing it that way. Because getting a big pot on the stovetop boiling and throwing it in there and cooking it seems like so much more of a hassle now than just throwing it in the microwave, hitting it for 6 minutes, and then having a fully cooked piece of corn off of the thing. Was it my video and my audio? Was it off? Is that what you were saying? That might be what you were talking about. Hopefully that stuff is pretty well. The thing that will screw me up is if my lips are moving and the audio is like a second or two behind, then I'm going to have to figure out how to rework any type of delays I have in the audio. So I'm hoping that the system is syncing itself outside of this. But the phone thing, I never even thought about the phone being having a delay issue trying to register that. Stan and Hope says, okay, now they're hungry. Yes, all this food has got me thinking about food and getting hungry as well. Hopefully we have something good for dinner tonight. Like I said, though, I really felt like I was constipated as, throughout this past week, and that's kind of clearing itself up, which is great. I am planning on weighing in tomorrow, but I don't know how I'm going to get that setup done. Mega Veggie Chili. It's not Monday. It's Tuesday night Mega Veggie Chili. It's usually Monday night we have Mega Veggie Chili, but the holiday pushed the meal off one day. So it's a Tuesday night Mega Veggie Chili kind of night, which sounds awesome for dinner tonight. Yeah, this weekend was really fun though. I had a lot of opportunity to hang out with the family, do some things with the kids that, normally I'm working all the time. I did work probably a few more hours than Carrie would have liked me to have worked, but it did still have an opportunity to get out and do some activity. Carrie says that she has a meeting tonight, so she had to do something simple. Pretty Girl's mom says Mega Veggie Chili Monday. Yeah, it's a joke that me and Carrie have that she tends to make Mega Veggie Chili a lot on Monday nights. I'm not sure if it's just how it works or not, but that's kind of one of our Monday nights having Mega Veggie Chili is not a surprise if that happens. And this week was a little bit different. So if you guys want to follow along and have Mega Veggie Chili Mondays, maybe we can make that a thing. But I absolutely love the meal. I talk about it a lot. This is one of the meals where I was not a big fan of it when we first started this diet, but after a few weeks, I noticed that I was really enjoying this meal and has become one of our regulars. It's probably one of the few things that we've kept from the beginning till now. There's some other meals that we've had that I don't see as much anymore, or, we just found something different that we like more. And we've added some great recipes, like the Linda's meatloaf. That polenta that I showed photos of is another one that is going to be on our regular. Yeah, today is Tuesday. Yes, we had, that's why, it's not Mega Veggie Chili Monday. It's Mega Veggie Chili Tuesday. But so this weekend, I should take more videos of the activities I end up doing or going out and doing things. But one of the days this weekend, it must have been Sunday. It was either Sunday real early morning or Monday really early in the morning that I ended up. It had to have been Sunday. Yeah, it was definitely Sunday. My son and I got our bicycles, loaded them up into the back of the car, and we went up to an area and rode bicycles for probably a half hour to 45 minutes. They had this neat area. It's actually at the middle school near our house, and they have a lot fancier things at the middle school now than when I went to middle school. Something's happening on Pretty Girl Mom's end, I think. But the at the parking lot, or at the middle school, they have a huge parking lot. And my son, we bought him a road bike, which is just a little bit different to ride than kind of your regular bike that you would have to ride around your neighborhood. And I wanted to kind of go out there and get practice riding it, getting in good position with riding it, and work on the shifting mechanism, because that is a huge difference in this bike versus any bike that he's ever ridden before. Is not only that it has shifting, or it has the ability to shift, but the mechanisms to do the shifting on the bike are different than I've ever used. They use the brake pedal, and they kind of push that in a little bit to shift. So we were up there, we were playing around on the bicycles, and at the middle school, they have this American Ninja Warrior kind of obstacle course set up that there's, it's got to be 12 to 15 different stations that they have, that it starts off, and it has the platforms where you have to go from, jump from uneven walk or something like that. I can't remember what it's called, but it's the first thing that they ever do in the American Ninja Warrior, if you've watched any of those obstacle courses that they do. And then my son wanted to do them, so I had him try each obstacle a little bit and to do what he felt comfortable with or what he was able to get done. And one of the obstacles was it was rope netting that was strung up to a bar that was probably 15 feet off the ground at least, and then there was rope netting on the other side. So you had to climb up the rope, take your leg over the bar, and then climb down the rope on the other side. And he was a little bit nervous. Like, he got to the top, no problem. And then when it got to the point where you had to be like, okay, now you got to swing your leg over and shift your weight from this side to the other side, he got real nervous about doing it. And so I decided to climb up and do it with him. And it's definitely not something that I would have done 200 pounds ago. I don't know if it was something I could have done 50 pounds ago, because it was hard enough for me to do it at 305 pounds. But I climbed up the netting up to the top so that I could hold him or help him so that he could climb over the edge. And then I was already up there that whole distance. I had kind of pushed him to overcome any type of fear that he had to go over the top end. So I figured that I might as well do it as well. And so I swung my leg over and climbed down the netting from the other side. But it was really cool to do it. It wasn't like it was this huge, difficult task that nobody could do. There are some obstacles there that are like that I absolutely was not going to be doing. Anything that involved hanging, I wasn't going to be doing. But that one was one of the few obstacles that I could actually do. And so I did it. And again, that's a non-scale victory, I guess, for me, because It was pretty hard on my feet as it was, because you're putting all your weight kind of on like a rope kind of thickness piece of rope or netting as you're climbing up and over. So it was a little uncomfortable to do it, but I got it done, and it was kind of fun to do and kind of hang out on that course with him and just kind of help him navigate through and do the best he could on the obstacles that he could do, and kind of assist him on some of the tougher obstacles. And it'll be fun. I definitely want to go back and have him continue practicing those obstacles, because he is a lot lighter than I am, and he'll be able to actually get them done, where for me, it is much more difficult. Pretty Girl's mom says that you can still chat, but you're not getting any video or audio. I'm not sure what is going on your end. I think that Stand and Hope and Carrie have been catching everything, and it tells me everything is excellent connection. So you might want to refresh the browser. I guess you can't hear me though, so I could be saying anything and you wouldn't know that I'm giving you these suggestions. So maybe if you watch this in replay, you can find out all these amazing suggestions that I'm giving you while you're not getting any audio or video. And Jane says that hers is coming through great as well. So might be just something on your end. So Saturday, went out and rode bikes. Lots of fun. Definitely recommend getting out, ride bike. Nothing crazy. I didn't do anything that was, I wasn't doing anything that was overly like an overexertion. I never even really got to a point where my, I was uncomfortable on the seat. We really only rode around the school a few times. Again, it was just for him to get acclimated to figuring out how to use the pedals and things like that. I ended up doing a lot of yard work on Sunday as well, because the weather was really nice. So I got out, cut some grass, did a little bit of, getting the pool ready. We have a very small above ground pool that my kids were going to hang me by my toes if I was unable to get that up and running to a point that they could swim in it this weekend. So lots of working on that this past week. And then on Sunday, I kind of did the last little bits I could do before Monday morning. And then on Monday, I did work for a few hours in the morning, but not too long on Monday. And then when I got home, we all hopped in the pool and did some swimming. It wasn't a crystal clear pool, but it was clean enough that the kids had fun. And it was really good to get in and start swimming. I hadn't really thought about it much, but last year, my swim season kind of got thrown off because I tore my distal bicep tendon. I was actually kind of trying to figure out why, because the pool was real green and there was a lot of junk in it this year that I had to clean out and get it ready for swimming. And I was trying to figure out why I just let it get to that point. It was something that I'm usually pretty good about staying on top of. I really enjoy swimming because that was something that I always have a great time swimming. Blank guy, his wife and their life says, "Hey there, pool time is great, cleaner than the beach, so yay, yes." And then Pretty Girl's mom says it's still not working for them. I'm sorry that it's not working. That sucks. Yeah, so I used to sell swimming pools when I was not a kid, but when I was younger, I used to do chemical water testing at a place that they sold swimming pools. And then as I got older, I went out and started building swimming pools. But something that we talked about a lot at the pool place is people would come in and they would just be super frustrated because they didn't have this crystal clear water that they had when they first filled their pool up, or that you see in all these photos. And they'd be mad that we couldn't get the chemicals right, or that there was something wrong with the water and it was just cloudy. And we would tell people a lot of times that it was, even if your pool is like really dirty looking, it's better than swimming in the river that's right next to us, because we're right on the Mississippi River. And if you go out on the Mississippi River in July and August, you'll see all kinds of people jumping in the water, swimming in the river. And there's no way that the pool in your backyard that has chlorine in it and you put algicide in it, there's no way, even if it doesn't look the prettiest, that it is dirtier than the river that people are jumping in. And so when you said that about the beach, yes, it's cleaner than the beach. It's cleaner than the river. And actually the kids getting in the water will help clean it up, because anything that was settled on the walls or on the floor will get stirred up, and then the filter will actually have a chance to clean it up better after we use it. So I'm not too picky. I would love it to be this crystal clear kind of what you see in the movies kind of look to the water. But my kids do not care. They give zero. They give zero F's about how that water looked. As long as, if there would have been a bunch of leaves on the bottom, like I spent a lot of time with the skimmer net trying to get any of like the debris out of the water. If there would have been a bunch of leaves or sticks or something in there, that might have turned them off from swimming, but they didn't care at all. It was just a chance for them to get in and go swimming. Even the neighbor girl came up and she jumped in the water before she even looked at it, I think, because they just wanted to go swimming. And so, yeah, let's see. Laquita says that Mississippi River is a no-go. I'm not that brave, and my microbiome would probably get a boost, but oh my, yes. The river, I actually remember the first time I ever did swim in the river, I was very surprised at how green it is. It was, you don't realize how dirty and mucky the water is, but I was doing inner tubing, so we had a inner tube strapped to the back end of a boat, and probably somebody that was mostly sober behind the wheel of the boat driving us around. And one of the times that I noticed it was like the grossest is the inner tube that we had like this netting on the bottom of it. And sometimes you get in a position, like if you're trying to jump into that inner tube, that it would flop up over your head. So you'd kind of be like surrounded by an inner tube, but then it would have a roof because of the nylon bottom to the inner tube. And when that would happen, you would look down and you could just see how green the water actually was. And so it definitely made me realize that it's not something that you want to do a lot of swimming in or hanging out in. And that was years ago. It's probably worse now. And yeah, it's, let's see. Carrie says that, she cannot believe people swim in the Mississippi. It's blue. Yeah. Our water. Yeah. At our house, the swimming pool, it's blue. It's not green anymore. It was green at the beginning of the when I started. So I changed the green to blue. So at least it's a better visually. And, you say, yeah, you think it's amazing that folks are jumping into the radioactive Mississippi. Yeah. And, I'm sure it's even worse as they get further south. So I'm up in Iowa. I know Carrie grew up down in St. Louis. I don't know that they do much on the river at all down in St. Louis, but just as you get further down the river, closer to the Gulf of Mexico, I'm pretty sure that water gets nastier and nastier as you go. So, yeah, we did swimming yesterday, and that was kind of the extent of our activity for the weekend. This past week. Came in this morning. My weight it's hard for me. I got to get a better spot to weigh in or get the scale set up here. I'm hoping to have something figured out for tomorrow, but not where I'd like to be, but not too far off from where I'm at, I guess, is what the scale said. And I ain't too worried about it because it's going to come off. Lots of things going on with work and haven't had too much of a chance to focus on the food. And for me, I'm just going to keep trusting the process that if I stick to my diet, that it'll go in the right direction. And I don't feel bad about there's nothing that anybody would say is unhealthy about the food I'm eating now either. So it's not the food that I'm eating now that's made me fat or making me fat. It's the food that I ate for the past 20 years that is continuing to keep me fat. And so it's hard to get on the scale and not see it go the right direction. But at the same time, I know it's decisions that I made 2 years ago that are keeping the scale at above 300 pounds. And it's not the decisions that I'm making today that are, continuing to, I'm not gaining a lot of weight either, which is something that if I would have been eating the same volume of food that I had, if you guys watched the first half of this stream, I had a ton of food this weekend because many of those meals I showed you were just one of the servings that I had. But overall, I know I'm making healthier choices and that I am in a better spot every day than if I would have chose the alternative to eat here. His wife says that you were in New Orleans in December and you stayed on the Mississippi. You enjoyed some amazing plant-based places there, but didn't glance too much at the river. Yeah, it's not something that, especially down in New Orleans, Louisiana, I don't know that that's any better to go get into that river. There's a lot of miles of people dumping crap into the river between here and there. Starini says, hello, Starini. I hope you're having a great day and you had a great weekend. I'm trying to see if anybody has any other questions real quick. I will go over any other questions, but I think I'm going to get out of here today. I'm hoping to do a weigh-in Wednesday tomorrow. Let me see if I can block these because they just pop up. Oh, wait, that's not what I wanted to do. How did I somehow accidentally made that person a moderator. And we're just going to remove that and see about hide this user on this channel, maybe? I'm not sure. Don't get too many of those, but yeah, that is something else. What advice would you give to someone just now getting started with a healthy eating, but binging on junk food? Maybe a loaded question for another day. I think I got that thing hidden on my channel or whatever, but it was scrolling up and it accidentally made them a moderator for a second. So we don't need that. I'm sure that they were excited about getting moderator status. So you got to binge eat on healthy food. I did that multiple times. I still do it. But when you get in that mood that you're craving something to eat, eat, a lot of times if I have fruits and vegetables, I'll just grab an apple or a banana or an orange or a couple oranges and eat them. For me, the biggest things that I kind of would binge on, if somebody were to say they were binge, I actually put a photo up of one of my favorite things to binge on earlier. And if I can do it quickly, I'll pull it up here. this was one of the first things that I ever binged on that I would say, I binged on it. I was freaking out about how much I ate of it. And then the next day I got on the scale and I lost weight. And that is brown rice pasta. I had one or two occasions where it was either this or maybe we had a bow tie of it in a different form of noodle. But that I binged on it. I felt like I binged on it. I ate a bunch of it, more than I thought I should. And the next day I was lighter because it's not a ton of calories. It's, it's easier to process it because your body to digest it and process it because it has been formed into these noodles. But this is one of the things I would say that I've binged on that I felt guilty, but in hindsight, it was not bad. The other thing that I binge on as well is shredded wheat with soy milk. We get our soy milk from Walmart. It's called West Soy, and it has no added sugar, no added anything. It's just soy. That I'll eat shredded wheat with soy milk and some raisins, and I'll eat 2 or 3 bowls of that because that's how I would eat. I eat that cereal like I used to eat Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and I used to eat Fruit Loops, and I used to eat all of these other crap cereals. I still eat that cereal the same way. I'll have 2 or 3 bowls of it when I eat it, but it's just not, it gives me that satisfaction of getting a full stomach. But again, I don't feel guilty about it because there's not a bunch of calories in there. There's not a bunch of added preservatives. It's just wheat. It's just soy, and it's just raisins. So that would be another one that I would recommend. And then the last one I would say would be Ezekiel bread with nut butter. That I definitely have that probably more than I should. But if I'm feeling hungry, I'll throw a few slices of Ezekiel bread in the toaster, and I will put Crazy Richard's nut butter on that Ezekiel bread and eat that. So those would be kind of my main binge items. The other things, and then when I first started this, I would also snack on things like a can of corn. That I would just take a whole can of corn, throw that in a bowl, put it in the microwave, and just eat a can of corn. A can of pineapple in its own juice the same way. So just, if you feel hungry, eat, because you're going to eat anyways. You've been, like the way you even asked the question, you kind of, was about, what advice you give someone just now getting started with the healthy eating, but binging on junk food. You're binging on something, binge on something that is harder for your body to get the calories out of. Corn, I think, is a great one because there's the skin from the corn, the cell walls make it so your body has a harder time digesting any of the calories from in it. And then also the other stuff in your stomach is to digest that, because a lot of times that corn will get between that food and your stomach lining. His wife says that they do the same thing. They make broccoli mac and cheese today. It always disappears fast. Loaded with pureed veggies, onion, garlic, carrots, cauliflower, nooch, and non-dairy cheese. Yep, just make something that's better. Carrie saying that when she feels like that, she eats the naughtiest healthy food she can find in the house. And it's generally a date with peanut butter or shredded wheat with pineapple and soy milk. And then she likes the Ezekiel bread with the peanut butter, and then she puts bananas on hers. So that's it. Getting a full stomach seems to be what most are missing when getting started. Yes. Srini says that I love corn. Yes, I love corn too. Absolutely. So yeah, that is a great question. And for me, it was, it's boring. It really is. Like, you don't get to have that, bag of Cheetos kind of taste and texture and whatever satisfaction that you get from eating a bag of Cheetos or a bag of chips. But you get that fullness that really is what your body is striving for. The book, Salt, Sugar, Fat by Michael Moss. Always, I bring it up a lot, but these manufacturers are just, they say that they're satisfying your hunger, but they're not. They're satisfying your cravings. You could eat anything to satisfy your hunger. They want you to crave their product so that you choose eating their Hot Pocket over actually eating something healthy, or eating their food over taking the time to put something together yourself. And so it's Snickers does a great job, the hungry, why wait, or and that's not what they're worried about. They want you to buy their candy bar. If it was really just about hunger, then you could eat anything. There would be, the shredded wheat fills up your stomach, things like that. So, I destroy corn when I get hungry. So Carrie says I'm cutting out again, which means that's a good cue for me to get out of here, guys. So I appreciate everybody coming in, checking out the live stream. I appreciate everybody who's been watching the broadcasts. Picked up a few new subscribers over the weekend, which I really appreciate. Everybody who has been checking this out and supporting me throughout this whole process. If you have not already hit that subscribe button, make sure that you hit the subscribe button, click on the bell icon so you get alerted when I go live or post new videos. If you haven't started your diet yet, get started right now. There's nothing coming up that's more important than your health, your overall well-being. Nobody ever gets to their goals, looks back and says, man, I wish I would have waited that one more weekend. I don't know what I was in a hurry to get started. Everybody looks back and says, I wish I would have started sooner. I wish I would have known what I knew now. I would have started months sooner, years sooner, decades sooner. Everybody regrets not starting sooner. So get started right now. Also, don't fall for the 2 myths of moderation. The myth of moderate consumption. The idea that eating a little bit of something unhealthy is okay. This idea of a balanced diet, that is, if you eat really good food for 2 weeks, that you can go and you can just have a little bit of something. Or the idea that you can eat less of something that's bad and it would be okay for you. If you know something causes heart disease and you eat half as much of that heart disease causing food, then you're going to be half as likely to get heart disease. But if you ate that food that does, if you chose to eat a food that doesn't create heart disease at all, then you don't have any chance of getting heart disease. So the idea that eating something less of something unhealthy can be unhealthy is a myth. The other is the myth of moderate change. The idea that you're going to slowly start eating healthy food while you're still eating a bunch of junk food, this high dopamine response stuff, is just not going to, you're not going to be able to fight it. The idea that, I'm going to start my meal off with a salad, or I'm going to start eating more broccoli. You need to get rid of the foods that are causing these diseases and causing you to be overweight. So you want to see big changes in your life and in your diet, you need to make big changes in your life and your diet. And I will just do that again. And I don't know how that happens. Is it a different? It's like the same. Oh, it is different. They do have a different name. So anyways, I appreciate everybody checking out my stream. Yes, there are lots of spam bots on my video today, and that doesn't happen a lot. So anyways, I'm out of here, guys. You all have a great day. We will be live tomorrow. Hopefully we'll do a weigh-in, but if not, we'll still be live anyways. So you guys all have a great evening.